Chiefy, obviously not how you envisioned this game when you made the drive here. What went wrong in your estimation?
It's poor first half, the first 10 minutes. It was a very poor goal to concede early on, and that really puts you on the back foot. The intention wasn't to press early on as well, factored in the heat a little bit. Didn't want to gas the players, and we're a little bit light on the bench at the moment, so so that was a big consideration. We conceded, and then we got kind of pinned for large parts of that first half. We were trying to get out a little bit. Structurally, some stuff, looking back now, probably more to do with the back five sliding and getting the wide tens to press through. Wasn't working. Half time went to a 4-2-3-1. Felt first 10-15 actually quite good. We gave Head the freedom to play in the space, and when we were brave enough to find that forward pass, and we actually looked dangerous, had a couple of good chances, but again, just the linkage play into that final third, attacking half just wasn't good enough, and there were chances there. That's what it felt like on the ground, and then, made a sub, conceded straight away. So, again, at 2-0, I think the game was done.
You mentioned that you didn't want to press on them early. Was there any inclination to, maybe attack them early, given just how undermanned City were coming into this game, and they lost pretty much their one senior attacker 18 minutes in? Yeah, in
hindsight, probably. But again, I wasn't really sure what the weather would give us. We're a little bit light as well, in terms of changing up off the bench and having attacking options. We have options, but a little bit inexperienced for me. So it was more about keeping Costa and Luke Brooks-Smith and Hideki fresh for longer periods of that game. But again, I think if we don't concede in the first, 5 to 10 minutes, whenever it was, we could have stayed in the game, and I think the game would have opened up. And the game may have played out differently.
Was it, I guess, one more disappointing aspects of the game to have City just dominating, passes and touches in opposition box compared to your stats? Was that sort of one of the more disappointing aspects of the game?
You can look at it that way, but if you look at their big chances in the first half, I think apart from that opportunity in behind, I think they had one shot top of the box that came from a second phase where we didn't clean up. But I don't think they got in behind properly or created a proper chance. So, So, look, it's probably not the most attractive way to play, but, we find it, I found that it would be effective, and we've done it before against other teams and so on. It's more about staying in the game, and then as the game evolves, we can open up and play out what we've planned. But again, once you concede after however long it is, it does put you on the back foot.
I guess not all of City's shots on goal were, threatening in quotation marks, but the final stats 21-1. That's probably something that you'd probably have to fix up.
I was disappointed at the fact that, again, looking at the footage, the amount of opportunities we had up top to actually play the forward pass. But again, if you can't control the ball, or you can't, see the ability to play that forward pass, then that's a disappointing part. I think for a large part there were some really good moments today that we could have capitalised on, but just that last pass, that touch, that perception and so on, that just wasn't working.
Hey, I guess I wanted to ask about last year when I spoke to you. You spoke about how you wanted to kind of mould just coaching style around that Roberto De Zerbi kind of style. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this season hasn't started out as well as last, but how do you kind of feel that you and the side are kind of progressing to that model of play? Yeah. Is that even something you still want to kind of?
No, I definitely want to evolve to that style. At the moment, we're having just difficulties, I think, just getting the starting 11 and the players that we want to mould around, and just having the time to work on the things that we want to. And I don't make excuses. Look, we had a long pre-season, but I just haven't had the time to get all those guys that I wanted gelling. We've had injuries or so on, or players unavailable. I still want to evolve the team that way, but sometimes I have to reassess as well. I mean, I'm firm in my beliefs. I think it is about evolving, but, you know, when you have 3 out of 4 losses and you're not really controlling the middle, it might be that we have to reassess maybe not the intention or the philosophy, but what our starting point is and what certain players can do.
Still obviously a long way to go in the season, but I guess today you had a chance to overtake City, but you might slip into the bottom 4 by the end of the weekend. Is there any concern, or is it still optimistic for what?
No, I'm optimistic. I mean, I think, you know, considering the late changes and just the movement within the squad, and, you know, also travel, and I think we're taken away from the fact that City have actually been quite good this season. You know, they're not 4th by chance. So I think, you know, we can evolve. I mean, the disappointing thing today was probably this and the Wanderers game. I felt as though we're kind of chasing our tails a little bit. But in every other game, both Auckland games, even the West United game, I think all the games we've been pretty much in or thereabouts. Maybe in lack of experience or execution and so on. So that we, you know, could have capitalised on those chances or opportunities to win those games. But again, you know, for me, it's now just going back to the drawing board, seeing what players I have available, you know, finding a style that suits the players. I also have to be realistic. You know, I have to adapt as well to what we have available, and I'm still very optimistic that we can turn it around. But again, you know, that really comes down also to the focus of the group, how I can, you know, refocus them and look. I've seen. I mean, look at Mariners, the way they started last season. You know, it was 4 games where they lost and then they turned it around. I think we're maybe 1 or 2 performances short of like turning our season around.
Because you get an 8-day break now before your next back in action. 4 of your next 5 games are at home, and that 5-game window also covers an entire transfer window. Do you feel like that this next run of games that you're talking about, you know, turning things around, is that the foundation that it has to be built on, and you have to basically turn it around in that run?
I think the next month is imperative to our success. I think we have to, within the group, we have to basically refocus and make sure that every one of these games are considered a final. I'm not expecting to win every game. I'd love to win every game, but you know, it's a refocus to make sure, you know, that I think on my part, it's just, you know, very important for the coach to steer the direction, but I need to make sure that my players, you know that they have my confidence, and that, you know, and the other way around as well, that we can, you know, do something still in the season. But again, look, I don't make excuses. Melbourne City were good today. You know, when we played Wanderers the other week, they were quite good. You know, they punished us, and, you know, unfortunately, we need to. Well, not unfortunately, but we have to also come to the party. There's, you know, we've got, you know, some new players that are coming through. They need to step up as well with the younger players and that. But that's obviously my challenge, that I need to work with the staff and get us better.
It's quite unusual at this stage of a season to hear a coach say, I need to go back to the drawing board and find a style that adjusts to the players. Does that imply that you misjudged the players right at the outset of this season, or that you're saying you got your approach and style wrong and it needs a total rethink? No,
I don't think it stylistically was wrong. I think it just comes down to personnel and what's available at the moment. I think if you look at today, you know, Alex Riff is a big part of our team. To have him ruled out makes a big difference in terms of how we condition the midfield. Marco Rojas being out is a large creative force especially in the half space and the areas that we need to progress the ball. Stefan Kolikovsky is out. There's one extra attacker that not only can start, but, you know, also come off the bench. And then all of a sudden, if I'm relying on these younger guys to come through, like I thought Luke Brooks-Smith, he ran, you know, a lot today and was effective. But to put that burden on him, I have to readjust those ideas and see how I can fit him in and make him more effective and take that pressure off. So that's essentially what I was referring to.
Collar obviously out for the season, but Rufer and Rojas, do you have any sort of prognosis around how long they'll be out?
I think the estimate on Rojas at the moment, I think he won't be available till round 17, round 18. So significant time. I don't even know what round we're in now, to be fair. So that's still a bit of time away. Riffer's indefinite at the moment. We don't know when he'll be back. It could be a couple of weeks, could be a month. We're not really sure at the moment. So is the other one. And Collar's out for 12 months. So, unfortunately he had to have surgery and so on. So these are big losses. The thing is, when you plan, obviously you're not planning for 3 or 4 of your players, your starting players, to be out. So that's something that I need to factor in and fix.
Just a quick one. Clean bill of health today. Nothing to report or anything to report? Or?
No, I think everyone's fine. I think Scotty took a knock and Payne played injured, but he played as long as we could. So everyone's all right.
Cool.
All right, thank you.